Welcome to Learning English from People.
The soulful star of the screen, Keanu Reeves. In the bright, often noisy world of Hollywood, where fame can be temporary and character can be a role you play, some stars shine with a different kind of light. Keanu Reeves is one of those stars. He is known not just for the famous characters he has played, like the heroic Neo in the Matrix, or the unstoppable John Wick, but also for the person he is when the cameras are off. A man known for his quiet kindness, deep resilience, and a life story that is as dramatic and touching as any movie. His story begins not in America, but far away in Beirut, Lebanon, on September 2, 1964. His name, Keanu, is a beautiful Hawaiian word meaning cool breeze over the mountains. This name was a gift from his father, a man of native Hawaiian and Chinese descent. His mother was an English costume designer. This mix of cultures gave Keanu a unique heritage from the very start. However, his family life was not as peaceful as his name suggested. When Keanu was only 3 years old, his father left. He would only see him one more time at the age of 13. After the divorce, Keanu's mother, Patricia, was determined to build a new life for her family. This began a period of constant movement. First, they moved to Sydney, Australia, and then to the bustling streets of New York City. Finally, they settled in Toronto, Canada. Keanu grew up feeling more like a global citizen than someone from one specific place. His mother married 2 more times, which meant Keanu had different stepfathers and a home life that was always changing. He and his sister Kim were often looked after by nannies. He described himself as a private kid, finding comfort in his own world. School was a challenge for Keanu. He had dyslexia, which made reading and studying difficult. He felt like he didn't fit in. "I was not generally the most well-oiled machine in the school," he later said. He moved between 4 different high schools and was even expelled from one. But on the ice hockey rink, he found his place. As a goalkeeper, he was so good that his teammates nicknamed him the Wall. For a while, he dreamed of playing for the Canadian Olympic team, but an injury ended his hockey ambitions. With one dream gone, he had to find a new one. At the age of 15, he found it. He wanted to be an actor. He started taking acting classes, and the world of storytelling opened up to him. At 17, he made a brave decision. He dropped out of high school, packed his bags, and with a green card from his American stepfather, he drove his old car to Los Angeles to chase his Hollywood dream. The early days in Hollywood were not easy. He took small roles in television shows and commercials. His agents even suggested he change his 2 ethnic first name to something more common, like KC. He tried it for a short time, but quickly went back to Keanu. He was proud of who he was. His big break came in 1989 with a fun, silly movie called Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He played Ted, a friendly but not so smart teenager who travels through time. The movie was a huge hit, and suddenly, everyone knew who Keanu Reeves was. But he didn't want to be known only as the goofy guy. He wanted to prove he could be a serious actor. He began to choose more challenging roles. He starred in the independent film My Own Private Idaho with his best friend, the talented actor River Phoenix. In this film, Keanu played a very different character, a young man living a difficult life on the streets. It showed that he had real acting talent. Then, he transformed himself into an action hero. In Point Break, he was an FBI agent who learns to surf to catch a group of bank robbers. A few years later, in the movie Speed, he played a police officer trying to save people on a bus that couldn't slow down. The movie was a massive success and made Keanu Reeves a global superstar. He had proven he could be funny, serious, and a convincing action hero. His career was reaching incredible heights. But just as he was enjoying this success, his personal life was about to be struck by unimaginable tragedy. The late 1990s should have been the best time of Keanu's life. He was chosen for a role that would change cinema forever, Neo in the Matrix. This science fiction masterpiece was more than just an action movie. It was a film about ideas, reality, and choice. Keanu trained for months in martial arts, performing many of his own stunts. The film was a worldwide phenomenon. But behind the scenes, Keanu was living through his darkest days. In 1993, his best friend, River Phoenix, had died tragically. The loss was devastating. A few years later, Keanu fell in love with a woman named Jennifer Syme. They were deeply happy and expecting their first child, a daughter they planned to name Ava. But just 1 month before she was due to be born, the baby was stillborn. The grief was overwhelming and broke the couple apart. Though they tried to support each other, they separated. Then, only 18 months later, another tragedy occurred. Jennifer Syme was killed in a car accident. In just a few years, Keanu had lost his best friend, his daughter, and the woman he had loved. Many people would have broken under such pain, but Keanu continued to work. He poured his grief and energy into his roles. He finished the 2 Matrix sequels, which were filmed back to back. He became famous for his generosity on set. He knew that the special effects and stunt teams were a huge part of the movie's success, so he gave up a part of his own salary, millions of dollars, to make sure they were paid well. For the 12 members of his stunt team, he bought each of them a Harley-Davidson motorcycle as a thank-you gift. This was the real Keanu, a man who, despite his own suffering, always thought of others. His quiet strength and deep empathy became as well known as his films. After the Matrix trilogy, Keanu's career had its ups and downs. He chose a variety of different films, from romantic comedies to dark thrillers. Some were successful, others were not. He seemed less interested in being a traditional movie star and more interested in exploring different kinds of stories. He also focused on his other passions. He played bass guitar in a band called Dogstar, touring and playing music with his friends. And his love for motorcycles wasn't just a hobby. In 2011, he co-founded Arch Motorcycle, a company that builds custom bikes. He was not just an actor, he was a creator, a musician, and an entrepreneur. For a time, it seemed like his biggest blockbusters were behind him. But in 2014, a script came to him that would once again change his career. It was for a film called John Wick. The story was simple. A retired hitman goes back to his old life to get revenge on the men who stole his car and killed the puppy his late wife had given him. On the surface, it was just an action film. But Keanu saw something deeper. He saw a story about grief, loss, and finding a reason to keep going. The character of John Wick, a man of few words but incredible skill and determination, was a perfect fit for him. Keanu trained harder than ever before, learning complex fight choreography and weapons handling. The result was a new kind of action hero. John Wick was a surprise hit, praised for its stylish action and Keanu's intense performance. It started a new, incredibly successful chapter in his career. The sequels became even bigger, and Keanu Reeves, now in his 50s, was once again one of the biggest action stars in the world. He had not just made a comeback, he had created a renaissance. But the real story of Keanu Reeves isn't just about his movies. It's about the countless small moments that have shown the world his true character. In the age of the internet, these stories have made him a beloved figure, often called the internet's boyfriend. There was the time a photo of him eating a sandwich alone on a park bench went viral, creating the sad Keanu meme. Instead of being angry, he found it funny. There was the time his flight had to make an emergency landing, and instead of waiting for a private car, he organized a van for himself and the other passengers, reading them fun facts about the town they were in to pass the time. There are stories of him giving up his seat on the subway, of him buying an ice cream just so he could give the receipt to a fan who wanted his autograph, and of him treating everyone on a film set, from the director to the crew, with the same level of respect. When asked in an interview what happens after we die, he gave a simple, beautiful answer. "I know that the ones who love us will miss us." His words touched millions. He is also a quiet philanthropist. When his sister Kim was diagnosed with leukemia, he spent years caring for her. He later started his own private foundation that supports cancer research and children's hospitals, but he never put his name on it. He doesn't want attention for his good deeds. For Keanu, kindness is not a performance. It is simply who he is. From a nomadic childhood filled with uncertainty to the heights of Hollywood stardom, Keanu Reeves has walked a path of incredible success and profound sorrow. He has faced more than his share of darkness, but has always chosen to walk toward the light, bringing others with him. He has shown that a person can be strong yet gentle, famous yet humble, and that the greatest strength of all is a kind and resilient heart. In a world that often celebrates noise, his quiet grace speaks volumes. His legacy is not just in the films he has made, but in the life he has lived, a life of integrity, empathy, and an enduring, cool breeze of kindness.